Our next topic is how far can your IT infrastructure go? Integrating AI-driven future-ready data centers. And our speaker is Dr. A.S. Prasad, Vice President, Product Development and Engineering, Vertiv. Round of applause for our speaker.
The world depends on data we power and cool. From a simple swipe to life-changing medicines, from push notifications to generative AI. Where there's data, there's Vertiv, powering its potential. From pioneering precision cooling to Vertiv's global leadership in critical infrastructure. From the era of mainframe to the dawn of virtualization. From your data center to the cloud, Vertiv has been powering and cooling data's potential for over 5 decades. And the more data created, the more Vertiv technology is needed. From supercomputers powering artificial intelligence to modular data centers enabling fast-track deployment, we're powering the potential for tomorrow's breakthroughs. Vertiv's scale and innovation is accelerating the industry. From empowering what data needs now to cooling where data goes next. As AI heats up, leading chip makers turn to us to keep them cool. What's next? A sustainable digital future enabled by Vertiv. Join us at the edge of innovation, supercharging data's next move. Because the best way to predict the future is to power it.
Namaste. My name is Prasad. I look after product management for Vertiv. At the outset, thanks to Sachin and Vikas ji for such an impressive audience and crowd here on a Saturday evening.
The world depends.
And for all the vibrant audience who were trying to tap their feet to the dance that was, the music that was played some time ago for the award winners. And congratulations to all the award winners. So for the next 10 minutes or so, I'll take you through what Vertiv does and how we can help you in your AI deployment journey. Okay, so just a context setting about AI. Okay, so every speaker after speaker has spoken about AI here and how you can use AI for your journey forward. So we will tell you about what Vertiv's perspective of AI is and how we can help you in your AI deployment as your organizations get impacted by this journey forward. So Vertiv as a company, we are a US-based company based in Columbus, and we got listed around 4 years ago in 2020. And we've been recognized by all the major media players across the globe as somebody who's behind the AI journey. So whether it is AMD, or whether it is NVIDIA, or whether it is Intel, or any of the GPU players, we are there behind in the physical infrastructure. So that's what we do. And exactly a little before, the speaker from Control S talked about how they're making data centers ready for your AI deployment. And he talked about a lot of his data centers, and Vertiv is behind all the colo, cloud, hyperscale, enterprise, and even edge on-prem data centers behind, giving the physical infra behind. So a little bit about what speaker after speaker has spoken here. 2022, the business of AI globally was $40 billion, but this business is going to be in 2022 something like $1.3 trillion. So that's the size of the business, that the true potential of the AI business. So $1.3 trillion is what is estimated. This was, I think, around 4 months ago, and this number is changing as we speak. So this is a survey done by Goldman Sachs and share of companies that use AI for their applications. So the biggest applications in AI right now are in marketing automation, virtual agents, natural language processing, text analytics, data analysis, and all of this. But you can see this was just in March 2024. And globally, everybody wants to deploy use cases in either on-prem or using AI as a service or GPU as a service with colo and cloud service providers, but 37% from the small number here. So this is what it is. It is how it's going to look like in the next 6 months. So now coming to where Vertiv plays. So right now, how many of you here right now manage AI workloads in the data center? Just a show of hands. And how many of you think that in the next 1 year, you will have to deploy AI workloads? Show of hands again. So that's more number of hands, and that's exactly what we're saying. So if I look at the chart here, what we're trying to say is approximately 75% of the rack loads. All of you have racks where all your servers and storage and network and everything is hosted. Approximately 75% of the rack load right now is in the range of less than 20 kilowatt. And that again, the majority of that, I would say 95% of that is in the range of something like 10 to 12 kilowatt. So that's what your current rack load density is. But this is what AI will get us into. It is going to get into extreme high density. So from what are right now is 3 to 4 to 6 to 10 kilowatt, to upwards of 20 kilowatt, upwards of 80 kilowatt. And right now I'm working on projects where the customers have asked for 120 kilowatt per rack. So per rack, from the earlier days of 4 to 6 to 10 kilowatt, we're talking about 120 kilowatt per rack. And this is how IT managers like you have globally said. They're all, 50% of them are saying that the rack loads are increasing. So the rack loads are increasing. The blur between, the hard line between IT and facilities is now blurring, and we will be talking about technologies wherein even we are taking liquid to the server. So this is how the rack load densities are moving. So if I see from right now in the range of 3 to 10 kilowatt, but this is actually going upwards. So average load density, so in any data center you take, it is not that every rack load will be upwards of 200 kilowatt, but the average load across data centers is moving upwards to the range of something like 30, 40 kilowatt. So that's the average load, and higher load, the peak loads per rack could be as high as 200 kilowatts. So again, as we know, AI is all about training loads and inference workloads. So inference workloads is what is there in the edge where the data latency speed is required, and training workloads is what, for example, ChatGPT, a large language model, used 10,000 H100 GPUs of NVIDIA. Somewhere I read it is 10,000 GPUs. And they ran it for 4 to 6 months. That's what GPT-4. That is what it took. And there were 700 racks. And the average rack density of power, heat power load requirement is around 40 kilowatt per rack. So that's what, just an example, because ChatGPT is not the only large language model. There are other models like Llama and other ones. But then ChatGPT is what strikes to people most when I speak about it. So the fundamental change in AI is, as everybody knows, is from CPUs to GPUs, from serial processing to parallel processing. And each of these GPUs, the latest, the NVIDIA journey, if I just talk about NVIDIA, the A100s, the H100s, the V100s. So the V100s was something like in the range of 300 watts per GPU. And in one server, you can have as many as 8 number of GPUs. And the H100 is like 700 watts, and equivalent to the MI300 of AMD also. It's also in the range of 700 watts per chip. Okay, so it's like 700 watts per chip. If you use it continuously for 24 hours for a month, it is equivalent. Just one GPU is equal to the entire power usage of one American family per month. So that's the kind of requirement we're talking about. 1,000, the latest, the Grace Blackwell 100, which NVIDIA has just recently launched, which has not come to our India so far. Each of this GPU is 1,200 watts per GPU. 1,200 watts is the speed. Okay? So this is, I'm sure everybody knows him, right?
The world is transitioning from general purpose to accelerated and AI computing. Compute density and therefore power density are increasing incredibly. Every aspect, from computing, networking, and software, are all groundbreaking computer science. The data center infrastructure is also incredibly complex. The most advanced cooling and power technologies are essential. Vertiv is the world leader. We've enjoyed a great partnership with Vertiv for many years, and our collaboration is growing in leaps and bounds as every industry and region invest in building AI factories at enormous scales. Our partnership with Vertiv is more important than ever. I want to congratulate Giordano and Vertiv on an extraordinary year. This is just the beginning of great things to come as we partner to put AI in the reach of every company and industry.
Okay, so that was Jensen Huang, NVIDIA CEO and founder, who was talking about Vertiv. Okay, so this is, again, I'll be a little fast because the time is limited. So this is the NVIDIA's Grace Blackwell 100 reference architecture, which was announced in the what you call the GTC, the Global Technology Conference of NVIDIA in March 2024. And this is what every Grace Blackwell chip, the GPU server, will be coming this reference architecture. And this unit here, which is called the coolant distribution unit, it's an XDU 1350. It's a 1.3 kilowatt, 1.3 megawatt. It's called the coolant distribution unit, and that's a Vertiv product. So we took over a company called CoolTerra in the United States, and this product is from that. And we are right now working for the next version of it, which is around 2.2 megawatt. And every Grace Blackwell architecture will have this as standard. And similarly, we're also working with Intel and AMD and other GPU manufacturers. So it's a very complex chart. What I want to tell you on this is there are a lot of complexities when it comes to rack loads of 80 kilowatt, 100 kilowatt. So what we're trying to tell you is that the rack heights will be more. The rack loads from 1400 kgs per rack, you could go up to 3000 kg, 4000 kgs per rack. There is arc flashing. There are issues with power distribution units which power to the servers. And there are a number of challenges when you get into high computing, high performance computing and AI deployment. And then Vertiv is a leader in that, and we can help you also retrofit your existing data centers with your current loads. How do you get to the next level? How much can air cooling do for you? Post air cooling, there is water cooling, and Vertiv can help you in that. So we are conducting a series of master classes for all our customers across the country and across the globe, wherein we can tell you how to deal with AI deployment. How can you get to the next level of rack loads? Okay, so again, this will all be talked about. So please register for the master class with our marketing team. We have got a stall outside. So there are rack loads from 10 kilowatt to extreme density, 80 kilowatt. So that's what the range of data center movement is. So it's not just, so we've got multiple technologies from perimeter cooling, which is air cooling, and then it gets to water cooling, and there is liquid cooling. We directly, and it is all just not fiction. We're actually doing, we've got approximately 4 megawatt of 3.5 to 4 megawatt of direct-to-chip liquid cooling, which means we pass liquid to the chip and get the heat out. And we've got immersion cooling. We did it for a large customer, some deployment in India, 2.5 megawatt of load on immersion cooling. So this is all not fiction anymore. It is being done, and Vertiv is doing it. So this is, again, some details of how the liquid cooling works. So air cooling, liquid cooling, and we are also into power management. So basically what we're trying to tell you is it's not just cooling alone. Even in power also there are challenges. So powers, bus bar, arc flashing, load on downstream side can actually trip your circuit breakers. So Vertiv has a complete portfolio from switchgear to bus bar to uninterrupted power solutions to cooling solutions. So it's from grid to chip, from chip to atmosphere, and we can give the complete IT management solutions for the complete dashboard of facility and IT on a common dashboard. And as far as I know, at this point of time in this country, there is only, it's just us who can give a complete unified dashboard both for your IT and facility on one screen. Okay, so this is again details of it, more of that in the master class, so please join the master class. And a little bit about Vertiv. So Vertiv is a global company, $6.9 billion of global turnover. This year we will touch $7.6 billion. And then in India, our biggest, we've got 41 offices across the country, and we've got 500 engineers in India doing research for the globe, and we have got around 2,000 service engineers in this country. 2,000 engineers in this country, out of which around 1,000 are service engineers. So we have around 1,000 service engineers in this country, and we have been in different names in the past as Tata, Libert, and then Emerson Network Power. So we've got a 30-year history in this country, and now we have Vertiv. So we've got a large service workforce across the country to help you in your deployment in your AI journey forward. And that was my last slide, and I've got just three questions, which I want to ask all of you. So there are some small gifts that we'll give you if you answer these questions. So I've shown on a slide here, what is extreme high density on this definition? Extreme high density. How many kilowatt per rack is extreme high density? Okay, yeah, I saw you first. Okay, what was Vertiv's global turnover in the year 2023? Wow, so many hands. But I think I saw you first, so I'll get to the difference. Okay, so Okay, and then I said that we have done deployments. It was not on the slide, but I just talked about it. We have done deployments for direct-to-chip liquid cooling of how many megawatts and immersion cooling of how many megawatts. Tough question, because it's not on the slide. 2.5 megawatt is for? Who is that? Yeah. I think somebody answered it, somebody is raising a hand. It's okay. Okay, we'll give him. Okay. 2.5 megawatts for chip cooling. It is a reverse. It's a reverse of that, but that's okay. Give him this. Thank you very, very much. Okay.